Hey, welcome. We're going to start on the back side. We're going to get into the hip, pelvic, lower back region today. So very calming nervous system. Although the hips can hold a lot of emotion, trauma, stagnant energy, but we're going to come into them. We're going to get into them in a very calm fashion. So coming onto the back, have a strap nearby and a block nearby. And arm, reachable distance. And once you have your props, you'll come onto your back. Before you get too still, let's bring the knees to the chest and gently rock back body into the earth. Start to connect to the breath. Maybe start by just doing a few cleansing breaths, so nice long inhale. And then exhaling out the mouth. Nice lengthy inhale in. And then exhale everything out. Do that one more time. And as you exhale, let it be audible. Okay. And then allow your legs to go long on the floor. Maybe feet come flat to the floor. If your feet are flat, knees bent, feel free to heel toe your feet so they're at least hip width or wider. And your knees can knock in so that the weight of your legs are acting to hold themselves upright rather than your musculature of the legs. For today, I'm going to invite you to bring your hands, palms to your lower abdomen, so that space between your navel and your pelvic bowl. And then I want you to mentally scan the body from crown, gently work your way down. Notice if you're holding, if there's any sense of gripping, clenching. If there is, with each exhale or as you come into that part of self that feels like there's this tightness or tautness, a gripping sensation, allow that part of yourself to slowly ease off with your exhales. So you can always imagine that as you inhale, you're breathing light, energy, nutrient-rich blood into that space. And then as you exhale, allowing that part of yourself to softly or to slowly release, to relax. So starting from the crown, gently working your way down the length of your body. So your back body get closer, heavier to the earth. Here we're going to work with a 1-to-2 ratio of breath, meaning our exhales are going to get a little longer, almost about twice as long as the inhale, but we're going to work up to that. So begin by exhaling everything out the mouth. And then seal the lips. On an inhale, breathe in through your nose, count to 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Come into your natural exhale, or an exhale that feels a little bit more rhythmic with your inhales. And if they seem a little lengthier in time and space compared to the inhales, please stay with that. And go ahead, bend the knees if they are not bent already. Your feet knees about hip width distance apart. Again, your knees can knock in towards each other. Maybe they touch, maybe they do not, and that's okay. You're gonna bring your arms out to the sides like a capital letter T. We're gonna come into windshield wipers. So you're gonna inhale here. On the exhale, let your knees drift over to the left. Inhale brings your legs back up through center. Exhale, let the knees drop over to your right. Inhale brings you up through center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale up through center. When you're ready, exhale over to the right and start to move at your own pace just for a few more rounds here, a few more breaths. Head and neck can stay neutral. The neck can rotate in the opposite direction of the legs or in the same direction. Start to find balance between your sides. Once you do, we'll come through center. The feet flat, knees bent. Left leg can stay bent or left leg can go long as you bring your right knee to your chest. Just some hip flossing motion here. You can use your hands for guidance and assistance, or maybe make it more somatic using no hands. Somatic meaning mind-body connection. A little more on the fiery side with no hands because your core does engage as you work the thigh bone in the hip socket. But it's nothing overly fiery, but just listen to where you're at energetically in this moment. Move in the opposite direction of that motion. I'm just feeling the head of your thigh bone move in the hip socket. And we're going to come into what is called wind removing pose. So now interlace your 10 fingers behind the right thigh or on top of your right shin below the knee. If you notice when you're using your hands to grip your leg in and your shoulders are kind of rounding forward and up towards the sky, use your strap as an extension to give your shoulder girdle, thoracic, and cervical spine space. You want to keep everything fairly neutral. You're hugging the right thigh bone in and down towards your side body into that lower abdomen on your right side. And feel free to even rock a little bit from side to side. Eventually landing in stillness, taking a nice few breaths here. As you inhale, think of working energy in from the crown down into the base of your spine. And then as you exhale, imagine that energy continuing the downward motion out to the pelvis, legs, feet, feeling those tight spots ease or soften. Maybe just feel your back body settle a little bit closer into the earth. If you're using your hands, slide your hands behind the right thigh. You're releasing that compression a little bit. Keeping your right foot fairly soft to your right leg, the back of your right leg. On an inhale, you're going to extend your right leg up to the sky, flex your foot. Exhale, rebend the right knee, let your right foot heel get soft towards your right hamstring. Inhale, extend right leg up, flex the foot. Exhale, rebend the knee. Inhale, you extend. And then exhale, you release. And just a few more on your own. Again, you can use your hands, you can use your strap. Next time your right leg comes up to the sky, we're going to stay here. You'll rotate your ankle in one direction. And then opposite direction. Come back into a flexed foot position. This is where you're going to slide your strap at the ball mound of your right foot. And you can bring both ends of your strap in your right hand or either end, either hand. As your right foot extends up to the sky, the sole of your foot, drop the head of your thigh bone heavy in the hip socket. Left leg can stay straight. You can even activate through that left side to keep a little bit more stability through your hips, your pelvis. Or you can always bend the left knee, plant your left foot flat to the floor to give your lower back some support. You'll come back to your breath in this hip flexion with leg extension. So inhaling nicely from the crown, working energy into the base of the spine. And then as you exhale, you're permitting the energy to continue that downward motion. Again, any parts that feel loud, sticky, tight, giving permission to those areas to soften with time. Relax the face, jaw, space between your brow. If you feel like you have more range of motion, feel free to bring your leg in closer, walking your hands up the length of your strap. Find more of a neutral position of your thigh bone in the hip socket. So right leg just a little bit away from you if you brought it in closer. With both ends of your strap in your right hand, you're going to find an external rotation of your right thigh in the hip socket. So think of rotating your toes out to the right. And then you're going to bend your right knee into what I call half happy baby. So think of working your right knee to your outer right shoulder so that your ankle, knee, and hip come at a 90 degree. So that eventually the sole of your right foot is facing up towards the sky. That's the way, Sean. Left hand can firmly press down on the front of your left hip. I want to keep that side fairly grounded here. Take a few breaths in this position. Then we're going to add some flossing motion. And your next inhale, you're going to keep this external rotation, but just let your right leg straighten out to your right side. And then as you exhale, you're just bending at the right knee, as we did before, and your right heel comes towards the back of your right leg. Inhale, extend your right leg out laterally away from you. Maintaining that external rotation, feel this into the inner thigh, inner groin. Exhale, bend the right knee, heel drops towards your right thigh or hamstring. Do these on your own. Now, the next time your left leg, or excuse me, your right leg extends out to the right, you're going to stay there for a few breaths. You can always slide a block or a blanket underneath the right thigh or even your shin, bringing the earth closer to you. But it's somewhat active here. We're not hanging out in space. So keep reaching out to the sole of your foot. Flex your toes. Can you spread your toes a little bit wider? Think the ball mound of your right foot, the ball mound of your big toe pressing forward in space as the baby side or baby toe side of your foot coming back towards you. And then can you initiate that external rotation again through your right thigh and the hip socket? So now think toes rotating to the floor as your inner thigh rotates up towards the sky. Inhale from crown to the base of your spine. On the exhale, allow the energy to continue that downward motion, helping you soften or surrender or release that tension or stagnation, the loudness. Another 2 breaths here. Next exhale, go ahead and bend the knee. You're going to bring your left foot flat to the floor and then cross your right ankle on top of the left thigh. So in your 4-angle shape. You keep the strap where it's at or remove it, place it to the side. So before we bring our knees closer to the chest, bring your hands, palms up to your thigh bones, right up into your hip sockets, and press your thighs away from you. Just creating a little bit more space between the vertebra, how your sacrum sits in your pelvis, that space in the frontal hips in general. Release the pressure off the thighs, and then when you're ready, you'll bring your legs up towards your chest. You will find your grip, weaving your right hand through the gap of the legs, clasping your hands behind the thigh. Again, you can use your strap as an extension, especially if you notice your shoulders are coming, rounding forward and up towards the. You want to keep your body fairly broad into the floor, neck neutral. Once you have your shape, rock from side to side. And then when you're ready, you are more than welcome to land in stillness, or you can keep that gentle motion. Inhale from the crown, work the energy down into the base of the spine. And then exhale, imagine that energy continuing down. Allowing the parts of self that feel tighter, stickier, stagnant to soften the grip, ease the tension. Okay, next exhale, release your clasp. Let your left foot come to the floor. We're going to come into a twist. You're going to cross your right leg over your left leg. Press your left foot to the floor, lift your hips up and over to the right just a little bit, a couple inches. And then let both legs, your crossed legs, fall over to your left side. And again, you can bring the earth closer to you by placing a block or a blanket underneath your knees, your thighs. Once you found your position, your twist, right arm out to your right, head and neck rotates where you want it to go naturally. And on an inhale, come back through center. Using your left foot to bring your hips back to center. Uncross the legs. Go ahead, let low both legs long, or you can keep your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, but then rest your hands at your lower belly. And I just want you to feel or sense the difference between your right and left side. Next inhale, reach your arms overhead. You can point or flex the feet, get really long. On the exhale, we're going to bring the left knee to chest. And you're going to do that same hip flossing motion on your left side. So moving the head of your thigh bone in a circular motion, one direction. Using a hand, both hands, no hands. And then moving in the opposite direction. Next time, left thigh comes in toward your chest. Find your grip, interlace fingers behind the thigh, top of the shin. And you can use your strap as if you're trying to bring your knee in towards the armpit. So feeling pressure in the lower belly with your thigh. You can rock a little bit here if you would like. Then coming back to that downward motion of energy, Apana Vayu, inhaling from crown to the base of the spine. On the exhale, permitting the energy to continue down and out, taking with it what is no longer serving. Okay, you're going to release the compression so that your thigh bone's more in a neutral position in the hip. On an inhale, you're going to extend your left leg up to the sky, flex the foot, get that posterior chain lengthening. Exhale, re-bend the knee, let your foot soften towards the back of the thigh. Inhale, lengthen left leg up, flex the foot. And the exhale, you'll re-bend the knee, let it soften. Moving at your own pace within your own breath. Okay, next inhale as your left leg lengthens. You're going to stay here. You're going to rotate your ankle in one direction. And then opposite direction. Find a flex foot. Place your strap on the bow mound of your left foot, excuse me. Again, either end of your strap in either hand or in your left hand. Right leg can stay actively straight, or maybe you're bending the knee, punching your foot to the floor. Let your left thigh bone come away from you. Find your thigh bone heavy in the hip socket. And then from there, reach up to the sole of your left foot. Spread the toes. Come back to your downward motion of energy upon the Vayu breath. Inhaling from crown to the base of the spine. And as you exhale, let the energy continue that downward motion. Relax the jaw, muscles of the face, tongue. As you inhale, breathe behind you, beneath you. Exhale, allowing the loudness or the tightness, the grippy to ease. Let it back off, little bit by little bit. And as you find more range of motion, maybe left leg comes in closer towards your torso, and you can walk your hands or hand up the length of your strap. From here, you're going to bring both ends of your strap in your left hand. Right hand can firmly press down on the front of your right hip to keep it grounded. You're going to externally rotate your thigh bone in the hip socket. So rotating your left toes to your left side. And then allow or bend the left knee, come into your half happy baby. So think of working your knee to the outer left shoulder so that your foot or your ankle, knee to hip become more at a 90-degree angle. Check in with this shape, half happy baby on your left side. And then when you're ready, you're gonna floss with breath. So on an inhale, keeping that external rotation, let your left leg go long out to the left. Exhale, you're just bending the knee, letting your heel come towards the back of your left thigh. Inhale, extend left leg long out to the left, keeping that external rotation. Exhale, re-bending the knee. Do these on your own. Now the next time left leg comes out to the left side, we're gonna pause here for a few breaths. So again, feel free to slide a prop underneath your left thigh, maybe it's your shin or calf, just to bring the earth closer to you so you're not hanging out in that joint. But what also helps is to actively press out to the sole of your foot, even if your left leg doesn't get super straight. So again, we're not hanging out in the joints. There's some action here, some integrity. Flex the foot, press the ball mound of your big toe forward, baby toe side of your foot back towards your outer ankle. Breathe into the sensations. Each inhale, you're inviting space with energy. On the exhale, you're allowing the energy to pull that tightness, the loudness, the stagnation with it as it moves down and out, eliminating. Notice where you might be holding or gripping elsewhere as we come into sensations that are bigger, louder, unpleasant, uncomfortable. Okay, next exhale, bend the knee, left knee. Bend your right knee, plant your right foot flat, 4 angle, cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Maybe you're moving your strap, just place it aside. Bring your palms up to your thigh bones, right up to your hip sockets. And then you're going to press your thigh bones away from you. Release that pressure on your thighs. And then when you're ready, you'll float both legs in towards your chest. You'll find your 4 angle. So weaving your left hand through the gap of the legs, clasping behind the thighs, top of the shin. Again, using your strap as an extension if you need to, so that your neck, your thoracic spine stay more in a neutral position. Shoulder girdle stays neutral. There's no rounding, no hunching, no extra back bend in the neck. Once you have your 4 angle shape, you will rock from side to side. Now you can land in stillness here or maintain that gentle movement from side to side. Come back to your downward motion of energy by breath, Apana Vayu. Inhaling from the crown to the base of the spine. Exhaling, allowing energy to continue the downward motion. Each time you exhale, allowing yourself to soften, to surrender, to release. And next exhale, release the clasp of your hands. Let your right foot come to the floor. We're coming into that twist across the left leg over the right. Press your right foot down, lift your hips up and over to the left, just an inch or so. And then with your right hand guiding both legs over to your right side, remember to place a blanket, a block underneath your knees, your thighs, so that, again, you're bringing the earth closer to you if you need that today. Once you find your twist, left arm out to the left, palm up. Let your head and neck rotate where it wants to go naturally. And inhale, come back through center. Level out your hips. Uncross the legs. Let both legs long. You can reach the arms overhead. And then on your exhale, just bring again your hands to your lower abdomen, that space between your pelvis and your navel. Just observe your right and left sides. Hopefully there's a little bit more balance between the two. From here, we're going to come into supported bridge. So bend the knees. Feet flat to the floor, arms by your sides for assistance or guidance. On an inhale, you're going to lift your hips up just enough so you can place a block. I would suggest one block, lowest setting widthwise, underneath your sacrum. Nice. Now, if you can go higher safely in a supportive way, you're by all means you're more than welcome to. But just make sure we are not. You want to do it in a supportive fashion. I don't want you to feel like you're extending to a point where maybe breath starts to get a little shallow, where you are not in a relaxed state. You're pulling yourself out of it. Each time you exhale, just feeling your back body settle into the block into the earth. And then from here, start to slide your right foot forward in space so that maybe the right leg goes long. And then if you can, left leg can go long at the same time. However, if it feels a little crunchy behind you in your lower back, or your back sits into your sacrum to the pelvis, you'll stay on one side. So just lengthening right leg, left knee would bend, left foot flat to the floor. We'll stay here you would stay for one side a few breaths. I'll let you know when to switch. Got it, Kathy, nice. Now, whether you're doing one leg at a time or both legs at the same time, arms can come a little bit further out to the sides, or maybe up and over towards the crown of your head. You're on one side, switch to the opposite side. About 5 breaths. 4. Your legs are long. Start to slide your feet in so your feet come flat to the floor. Arms by your sides, palms facing down. Feel your feet, and on an inhale, you're going to lift your hips up just enough to remove your blocks. Slowly lower your hips back down. Once you're all the way down, bring your knees to your chest. Let your heels be soft towards your bum. And then you're going to inhale here on your exhale. Just let your legs shift over to your left. They won't come all the way to the floor yet. Inhale, you come up through center. And then exhaling over to your right. So some somatic movement here. Inhale up through center. Exhaling over to your left. Maybe you're getting closer to the floor. Move at your own pace with your breath. Okay, start to find balance between your sides. Once you do, you'll come through center. Feet to the floor, keeping the knees bent. Roll to either side. You're going to press up. And you're going to use your blanket. We're going to lie over the blanket front side and the lower part of our abdomen. Now to get into to continue that work in the hips, the pelvis, the lower back. So with your blanket in this position, you're going to roll your blanket into a long roll. You're going to come to hands and knees. And you're going to lie, when you lie over your blanket, you want your blanket more to lie over where your frontal hip points are. So it's like lying over this region. So kind of that space between your pelvic bowl and your navel. Your butt should feel like it's sticking up in the air. So a little pressure here through the gut. And chill out on your forearms. Just kind of check in with that pressure, the roll of your blanket. If you feel like you can go even thicker, more pressure or compression in the abdomen to help release, you can come off your blanket, hold the blanket as you pull it off the shelf so that your blanket's thicker, and then you roll it again so that the roll is even thicker, wider, and that will create a little bit more compression. Once you feel like you have that where you want it to be, you'll come down all the way to the floor, forehead to the backs of your hands, crocodile, or one ear to your mat, and I'll let you know when to switch your sides. Coming back to the Apana Vayu, that downward motion of energy. And because your back body is more exposed to space, as you inhale from crown down, the base of the spine, can you feel more of the back body expand from the upper back, mid back, the lower back, even the back of your pelvis? And then as you exhale, allowing the energy to continue that downward motion, but can you feel your front body almost receive the blanket further? You physically melting over the blanket into the earth. Inhaling from crown down to the base of the spine. And then exhale, melting further in and over the blanket. Letting tension release, gripping, let it go. You have one ear to the mat, switch to the opposite ear. Just a few more breaths here. Okay, next inhale, slide your hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes underneath your feet. Press your hips to your heels into child's pose just for a moment. And then from your child's pose, you'll come upright. Keep your blanket in this position. You're going to roll to one side of your hips, your legs can come back out in front of you. We're going to relax. So I'm going to give you two options for your final position of rest. Shavasana, corpse pose. That's just where your body's long on the floor in a neutral position. You can place your rolled up blanket underneath your thighs, your knees to give your lower back support. Option 2 is your supinated Baddha Konasana. Blanket might not be enough to give your legs that inner groin, inner hip flexor support. So that's where your blocks come in. You'll use your blocks for support, but before you get into it, I always recommend coming to the floor first, then soles of your feet together, knees bent, but go wide out to the sides, and you'll slide your blocks kind of at an angle. You're kind of fitting puzzle pieces together in that angle between your knee and thigh. A couple options. Once you've found the shape that you decide to be in for the remainder of your practice today, adjust so that you're even more comfortable. If you're not using the blanket underneath you, a nice way or a nice use of it is to bring the blanket on top or to the front of your body along your hips, your pelvis. Creates more of a grounding effect. That's the way, Sean, yep. Yeah. Take that moment, walk the shoulder blades a little bit closer underneath. Your arms can drift away from the body, and if they are, let your palms rotate up. This just creates space to the heart, the lungs, the chest, thoracic spine, cervical spine even. Or maybe both hands at the lower abdomen. And we're going to continue with that downward motion of energy, calming the nervous system, calming the energy in general, laguna. We're going to work with an equal wavelength breath, but now I'm going to have you invite retention or space, stillness at the bottom of your exhale. As if you're kind of waiting in that nothingness or in that stillness itself. Begin by exhaling everything out the mouth. On your next inhale, breathe in through your nose, prana from the crown to the base of your spine. As you exhale, let the prana energy continue the downward motion to the legs, the feet. Feel your body surrender into the earth. And then pause at the bottom in the stillness. Inhale, crown to the base of your spine. Exhale from the base down. Pausing at the bottom in the emptiness. Inhale, crown to the base of your spine. Exhale from the base down and out. Pausing in the bottom in the stillness. Inhale, crown to the base of the spine. Exhale from the base, down and out. Back body surrendering into the earth, and then pausing in the stillness at the bottom of your exhale. Inhale, crown to the base of your spine. And exhale from the base, down and out. Pausing in the bottom, in that stillness. Now crown to the base of your spine. Exhale from the base, down to the legs, soles of your feet. Pausing in the emptiness. Now crown to the base of your spine. Exhale, base, down to the legs, feet, back body into the earth. Pause in the emptiness. Inhale, crown to the base of your spine. Exhale from the base, down to the legs, out to the soles of your feet. Pause in the stillness. Inhale, crown to the base of your spine. Exhale from the base of your spine, down to the legs, feet, back body into the earth. Pausing in the stillness. Allow your next inhale to find ease, followed by your natural exhale.